I will spend $1. And in return, I will get tangible financial benefit, I will get $100. Intangible benefit, people, my people, the state senator, my people, will access and benefit the best ever healthcare services that I will call this ministry the best ever healthcare provider.
It feels like it's at least 100 degrees out today. I know it's 100% humidity, and in this tank, it's even hotter. Japanese tanks, there's probably 10 of them in a row here. They took over the island of Pohnpei. They were in control for many years during the war, before the war and during the war. And General Douglas MacArthur, they had a plan. They were going to try and recapture the islands. What they did is they called island hopping. They'd bomb and they'd take over one island, then they'd skip the next island, go on to the next one, then they'd skip the next island and so on. And they'd end up then with blockades. The Japanese here, they ended up, the blockades were so severe, they finally had no ammunition to shoot at planes anymore, they had no food. They went into the towns and the villages and they created havoc with the people. They treated them so terribly. War is absolutely a horrible thing. Hey, Mr. B, that was kind of fun. Tell me about your family was here on the islands at that time. What was it like to have the Japanese here, taking over your home and everything else?
The Japanese, you know, they made the people really work. If you don't work, they really punish you. And you make a mistake, they really punish you.
And punish in this case means what, maybe?
Beating. If a group works in a company and something is stolen in the company, if there are 15 or 20 of them, all of them are beaten. If nobody confessed, they beat them until one of them will confess. And I heard from my father that one time the place where he was working, there were like 7 or 8 of them, and something was stolen there. So what they did, they tied their legs up, their heads down, and this Japanese soldier start kicking them and beating them with his gun and all those kind of things. And finally, one of them cursed Ponapen. He cursed the rest of the people. He said, "Why you people are scared?" So he confessed that he was the one who did it, but he was not the one.
He really wasn't the one, just
to stop the beating.
Stop the beating. My, oh my. Tell me, any other stories? I mean, we look at all these tanks and think of all the stuff that went on here. Anything else you can think of from the family that went on during this time?
During the war, because the Americans, they don't land here. All they do is they just bomb.
Yeah.
And you know, my mother and my father, they used to tell me that there are some caves when there is the Japanese will know that planes are coming. There is a siren, they call siren. And that thing will make noise. Everyone will start running, hiding. And the Americans will come in and just bomb everything. You know, there are some islands here where they have guns, and maybe even here. If you go to Soques, you will see the marks of all these bombs. They just bomb everywhere. And even some of the locals were hurt. I have a relative in one of the islands. You know, my mother told us that he was putting thatch roof on his house, and this plane came in and just started shooting. And
wow.
Probably he thought this was a Japanese, that they shot that guy. She said that the intestines were hanging. during that time. But after the war, when the Americans came in, they asked all the locals, those people who were hurt during the Japanese time, and they gave lots of money to those people who were hurt. If they destroy your properties, your house and things like that, there was money, I think they got it from United Nations, that helped the local people.
Okay. During the time of the war, how many Japanese, do you know how many Japanese were here on the island?
I'm not sure how many on Pohnpei, but there were more Japanese than the locals here.
Really?
That's because when they came in, they did not come to go back. They were planning to make these islands part of Japan. So the population of the Japanese here were double the people on the, like Marshall, Pohnpei, Chuuk, Guam, and all those islands. There were the number double.
Wow.
And Ponapen, the highest job they can get is secretary. Either secretary or policeman. They cannot go higher than that. And the schooling is only 4th grade.
Now, that was then or now?
During Japanese.
During Japanese occupation.
You cannot go higher than 4th grade. But in 4th grade, what they learn is carpentry.
Wow, this is an arduous climb up to the top of this mountain, but it's going to be worth it. Wait till you see what we find at the top. Come on, follow me. This stuff is so big. What is it? Well, you may recognize it, bamboo. Bamboo, how did it get here? It wasn't indigenous to this island. The Japanese planted it. When the Japanese occupied the island, especially up here on the top of this mountain where they placed mini guns. Come on, follow me. Let's go check it out. I was here about 5 years ago. Everything has grown over. The jungle grows so rapidly. They chop things down every year for people to be able to see this. What is it? It's one of the gun emplacements of the Japanese Army, able to reach clear out on the harbor and beyond. You see the ships out there right now? Probably no problem for these guns. However, no American ships ever showed up. They just sat here, and I don't know that they fired any rounds. Okay, I want you to follow me now. I'm going to get down and head over this way, show you something else. Now, I wanted to bring you over here and show you this area. This is where all the munitions were stored. And on top of this area too, there's a machine gun area. It's all overgrown, but there's still, the bottom line is there's still remnants of war. War scars, war tears apart. It's a sad situation where we are still today on planet Earth, but I believe Jesus is going to take care of all that very soon. You know, the beauty is absolutely stunning. We've got a lot more for you, so don't go away. We'll be right back.
Can you imagine having most of your front teeth rotted out? They've been that way for years, and you have no hope of relief because the area dentists don't have the special training needed to tackle such a major task. That was the situation of Senator Shelton. He heard our Canvasback super team was coming to the island, and he decided to visit the clinic. Our dental specialist took one look at him and knew it would be a challenge because most of his mouth needed to be reconstructed. Our Canvasback super teams excel in the hard to accomplish category. It was a special training day for local dentists as they crowded around the chair observing, and it was a special day for the patient. When the task was finished, he looked 20 years younger. He told us his wife didn't even recognize him when he got home. Please join Canvasback and help bring smiles back to the island people. Go to canvasback.org. The three biggest killers in the islands of Micronesia are heart disease, stroke, and diabetes. Canvasback has tackled these issues head-on by establishing a wellness center on the atoll of Majuro. People there eat very few vegetables. Now, thanks to Canvasback, islanders are learning how to grow gardens in their backyards and to exercise. The lifestyle changes have been so remarkable, the government invited Canvasback to write an entire curriculum for the public school system. Now the lives of the children are changing too, and our trained neighborhood health teams travel the island to monitor glucose levels, heart rate, and blood pressure. It's not uncommon to discover glucose levels of 500 to 600. These people are taken to the hospital, and once stabilized, the team begins the education process to reverse their diabetes. That's right, reverse their diabetes. Many island nations are asking us to come over and help them. With your financial help, many more islanders can experience good health.
Well, I enjoy working with people like this, dental assistants. I enjoy seeing the differences that we can do. And we see different things here that we don't know. Like the other day we had this huge abscess, we don't see it.
I know I've had teams in different parts of the world, doctors, dentists, they tell me, I've only seen these things in medical books.
Yeah, no, like the guy that we drained his cheek the other day, remember? Remember that guy that had a big swollen cheek?
I've been experiencing this rotten teeth affecting the quality of my speech, affecting the intake of the food, and experiencing infection, and what have you. I'm not a dentist, so I don't know. And that yesterday was a day that I will remember for the rest of my natural life, because the day was a day, a dream came true, that I locally and throughout Micronesia, throughout the freely associated states, RMI, FSM, and Palau, I travel around the islands, and I've been introduced, or I was introduced to several with the title dentist. They were not able to correct my tooth handicap. So I gave up hope. Said, it's okay, it is meant to be. But yesterday I found out that no, there will be a day that a chosen one will come to my rescue to revamp, rekindle my declining hope for better in terms of health. So this is an example. If I am to go on to make up the 110%, you're going to stay here for 10 more years.
Well, I tell you, you know, you sitting here today with that good-looking smile says a lot.
Oh yes, I went home yesterday and my wife said, oh, no other man is allowed to set foot in my house because this house belongs to me and my husband. And I say, it's me. And she said, no, my husband, I used to know him very well because he's ugly and his teeth front is ugly. But no, that's not you. Get out of the way or I will call police. I say, honey, it's me, your husband, Shelton Miller.
It's hard for me to keep up going here, but that's wonderful. I love
I'll
it.
give you that example.
I love it.
And she said, oh, let me see your driver's license. So I gave her my driver's license. And I said, okay, give me a nut. She required 3, photo IDs. So I gave her my driver's license. And she said, no, not enough, I need 2 more. So I gave her one of the cards I gave you. No, not enough. So I grabbed my passport. I said, it is you. Yes.
She let you in the house then?
Finally.
Finally.
Otherwise, I would stay outside, or she will call the police to get me arrested because trespassing. It's no joke.
What I've seen so far is your people have a wonderful sense of humor. I've seen it all over. It's great. Tell me something else with Canvasback. Is there anything you could say to our viewers that would say, yes, it's a worthwhile thing to do?
I have my PhD in management and leadership, international management and leadership. And I got A+ in my write-up for investment. And this morning we were having this meeting, and Jackie made mention of return of investment. Acronym of return of investment is ROI. And every investment, or whoever is doing an investment, must do a financial feasibility assessment study to make sure that that investor will spend $1 to gain $20 or even more. And if you are to give me certain investment proposals for me to look at, among others, I will select the Canvasback mission. Why? Because I will spend $1, and in return, I will get tangible financial benefit. I will get $100. Intangible benefit, people, my people, as a state senator, my people will access and benefit the best ever healthcare services that I will call this ministry the best ever healthcare provider.
I've been so excited just as I've interviewed doctors on the team and other staff and all the assistants. They don't maybe not have any more vacation time. They've spent their vacation here, which is astounding, you know, for so many people. You work and you work and you work so you can take a vacation. These people work so they can come here and serve. It's exciting to me, and I can tell it is for you too.
In simple words, the living sacrifice for the betterment of the people in need, indescribable, inexpressible, immeasurable, and my description is inexhaustible. Canvasback ministry, I cannot do any mathematical formula to figure it out. The love and care of the organizer and of those that listen and respect and obey the invitation, the call of God to go out and to deliver
That's the key.
ministry.
That's the key.
And I told them this morning what I learned from Dr. David yesterday. I was talking with him with amazement and surprises, and he told me to mellow me down. He said, "Sir, remember, God works miraculously and mysteriously." So, thank you, Dr. Dave, my hero. Let it be stated in the record.
Thanks again, Senator. Appreciate it a
You're
bunch.
most welcome.
Thank you. You've seen the implements of war. You've heard of the cruelty of humanity toward one another. But today, you've also seen the other side of the coin. I like to refer to it as the God side. Those who've been led of God to reach out across the world and help those in need, to impact their lives in a positive way, affecting changes that will ripple to the shores of eternity.
Rabudi was born blind. That's right, he couldn't see at all. The entire family were his caregivers. Their lives were completely tied to the needs of their little son. The doctors at the hospital lacked the experience to provide him with surgical help. This situation continued for 6 long years. Making less than $100 per month, there was no way to ever afford the surgery. Even if they could fly off island, the surgery in another country could be $12,000. It looked like all hope was gone. Enter the Canvasback Super Team. Roboute was examined and the surgery was performed. The day the bandages came off, he saw his parents and siblings for the very first time. He and the family were set free. There are more children like Roboute who are in desperate need. You can change many lives. Please give sight to the blind. Log on to canvasback.org today to give your gift of love.
Today, Senator Neff has a beautiful smile thanks to the Canvasback dental team. After his restoration, with a big smile, he joked that his wife didn't even know who the stranger was who came to her home. The impact of Canvasback upon the hearts and lives of these islands is ongoing, but it wouldn't and it won't happen without people like you. As a co-founder, I can guarantee you that your mission dollars go a very long way when partnering with Canvasback. We make those dollars work for you and the people we serve. I invite you to financially partner with us today.
Thank you for watching. Please join us again for another exciting Impact. Because remember, Canvasback is changing hearts and lives one miracle at a time. If you'd like to partner with us, you can write us at 940 Adams Street, Suite R, Benicia, California 94510. Or you can log on to canvasback.org. Call us at 707-746-7828. And thank you for watching. Please join us again for another exciting adventure. Remember, Canvasback is making an impact, one miracle at a time.